Hey everyone, here we are again with Jake for a low impact, no weight needed beginning workout. Today we're going to do 2 rounds of 12 movements for a total of 12 minutes. And one of the things that Jake is going to do here as he's doing our step out or our modified jumping jacks is he's going to do the modified version in the first round and then the quote unquote regular version in the second round. So if you know how to do a regular jumping jack, obviously you can do those if you feel comfortable doing it. If not, these are a great modified position modifier to do them with. Okay, here we go. We have regular squat. With squats, obviously full range of motion is what's desired. It's beneficial, but you need to do what you can do without any pain. Again, discomfort is okay, but we don't want pain. So, if you can only go halfway down right now, that's okay. If you need to sit a chair behind you so you can get the bottom to the chair, then that works as well. Okay, our next movement is a step out to a squat, okay, which is a modified movement of squat. So he's going to step to his right and then squat, and then step to his left and squat. Again, step out as far as you can, squat as deep as you can. Especially with no weight when it's not loaded. I don't necessarily think that there's a too deep of a squat as long as we're not compromising our body position. We want our chest up and a straight back. All right, modified high knees. This is pretty much going to look like we're marching in place. Jake goes, we're marching in place. And again, if you can do high knees, then go ahead and do them. But for a lot of people, if we're just starting our fitness journey, this is more than enough. We've just never moved before. We've never done a whole lot of physical activity. And again, as you can see towards the end of this video, Jake is going to be breathing heavy and tired. He's a college athlete. Here we've got modified mountain climber. Again, we're going to slowly bring our knees up. If you can do a regular mountain climber, go for it. But I've asked Jake to do some of these videos just so you guys can see that these videos can be a great tool for people who are in shape, people who have been working out. Like I said in a couple other videos, 10-minute workout. Lunchtime, early in the morning, right before you go to bed. Here we have modified push-ups. Again, those are push-ups on our knees. Some coaching points in, kind of dragging alongside of our ribs. Get as close to the ground as possible. You can certainly touch your chest to the ground. Full range of motion is awesome. But again, if you got some elbow or some shoulder issues, you do what you can. And oftentimes, those things get worked out as we get in better shape. I think a lot of Americans don't realize how much discomfort is just from not being physically fit. Okay, here we have what are called pizza pies. Palms are up. Bring our elbows in straight out front. Bring our arms to the side, back to the front and back in. You'll start to feel this in your shoulders. If you've got 5-pound dumbbells at home and you want to add that, you certainly can. We don't do that in this video. We just show it with no weight. There's really no modification. There's advanced weight, pretty much. Okay, here we have our good old glute bridges. Great for that booty. Great for some hamstrings and some core work here. Feet are in the ground, lifting our hips up in the air, and we're squeezing our glutes at the very top there. That's really, really important. Okay, here we have a plank. And we're going to do a regular plank here where Jake's on the ground. Back is nice and straight there, as you can see. We don't want to stick our butt up in the air. If you have a really hard time holding a plank in this position, we can kind of go into a modified push-up position with our elbows on the ground, and that's actually still going to be stimulating some core work, and getting some benefit out of that. And then, of course, eventually you bring your knees off the ground and eventually go to a push-up plank. Okay, here we have face plank. So again, no weight here. We're going to bring those elbows up by the eyebrows, hands back, And, you can't see Jake doing it here, but one of the things he's doing is as he's bringing his elbows back, he is squeezing his back muscles together. He's squeezing his shoulder blades from his scapula. If you put your finger in between his shoulder blades, my coaching point here is try to pinch my fingers. Okay. All right, here we have and we failed to show the modified version here, but what you can do is get into your modified push-up position and do renegade rows. Obviously, again, a lot of people do these with weight, but these will give you a fine workout and a fine, good little back burn even without any weight. Okay, and then lastly, we're doing some modified wide push-ups. I really, really like wide push-ups because they our lats a little bit more, so that's kind of the mid back area if you're not familiar with what the latissimus dorsi are, or the lats. They also engage the shoulders and the chest, which is good, but wide push-ups, the farther out we bring our hands, the more back engagement Okay, so that's round number 1. Okay. So now we are moving on to round number 2, where Jake is going to do or advanced movements. So here we have jumping jacks. And if you can't do a jumping jack, you can continue to do the step out jack that he did in the first round. All right, so that's fine to do. 20 seconds here. He's got about 5 seconds left. Okay. And now, instead of squats, Jake is going to do some squat jumps. Okay, again, this is a little higher impact. I mean, this is low impact film, but video, but a little higher impact. There are some in-betweens here. Maybe what you're going to do instead of jumping is squat and come up to your tippy toes. That is a fine kind of in-between modification between squats and squat jumps. You can do squat jumps. Some coaching points there. We want to land softly on our toes. Here we have drop. So again, we're dropping both of those feet, or spreading both of those feet out and then dropping into a squat. This was the step out squat in the first round. So again, if all you can do is that step out squat, that is perfectly fine. You'll still get a lot of really good a good leg workout there, and get your heart rate up and get breathing. Okay. All right, now we have high knees again. Before we kind of marched in place, now Jake is going to go a little faster, so he's running in place with those high knees. Again, if all you can do is march in place, that's perfectly fine. I want to applaud you just for turning this video on and getting moving. The vast majority of the United States is not doing that. So great job. I'm glad you're with us and working out. Okay, here we have mountain climbers. Again, if you remember before, Jake went nice and slow, brought his knees up to his chest and back, kind of like just on the ground. And now with his mountain climbers, he's going to go faster. Okay. And the reality is, one of the reasons why I really like mountain climbers is they're kind of like a self-paced movement. You can go as fast or as slow as you want and still get really good work. Again, like I said, at the end of the video, you're going to see Jake breathing heavy and sweating a little bit. Here we go, regular push-ups. It's kind of funny, after we got done filming this video, Jake told me that he did not be sweating as much as he was, so that's pretty cool. Okay, and again, if you need to do modified push-ups, please do modified push-ups. Elbows are in, chest is down as close to the ground as possible. We don't want any pain, especially in our elbows and our shoulders. Okay, again, here we have our pizza pies. Elbows are in, hands are out front. We kind of look like a stunt double from Karate Kid here. Maybe hands out to the side, back to the front, and back in. Again, we don't show it in this video, but if you have some small weights at home, even 1 or 2 pound dumbbells, that'll add a little bit of resistance. And of course, the more resistance we add, the more muscle building we're going to get, the start burning more calories and get the heart rate up a little higher. So if you can do that, that's great. Okay, we did our glute bridges in the last round. Now we're going to do a walkout. In the hamstring walkout, we're going to walk our feet out and then walk our feet back in. We want to take tiny little steps. So we're still getting glute activation here, but we're also getting a little more hamstring engagement. And if you want to take this a little step further, so maybe this is even a little too easy for you, you can walk so that your legs are almost completely straight. So get a little advanced there if you want. Okay, up, down planks. So when our push-up, we're going to go down to both elbows and then back up to both hands. Now, the key here is we don't want to drop to our knees. So if you can't do this, just do a regular plank. I really don't want to do up-down planks from a modified position. I just go modified plank to a regular plank, push-up plank, and then to up-down planks. Back to our kneeling face pulls. Again, for this one, there's not adding dumbbells here isn't going to really help the upper back. It'll obviously engage the shoulders a little bit more here. This one, if you do in a gym, you would do with a band or a cable machine, but you can do this with no weight, and you would be surprised at how much back engagement you get. Here we go. We have our renegade rows again. Okay. And you can do your renegade rows without any weight. At how much back work you get, even without any weight. Sometimes using dumbbells with our renegade rows is a little tricky. First of all, you have to have a dumbbell that has a flat surface. Otherwise, you're rolling all around over the place. And then, that kind of stabilization and stuff. This is when we add weight for renegade rows, it's an advanced movement. It's certainly not something that I would ever have beginners do. Okay. All right, and then we're going to finish up with our wide push-ups here. Wide push-ups. Okay, again, get a little more back engagement. Still getting that shoulder, chest here. And, of course, Jake is now doing them on his toes instead of in a modified position. I apologize, my timer for some reason stopped working, but this is our last movement. So as soon as Jake is done, you are done. And like I said, at the end of the workout, he's told me he was surprised he was sweating that much. Great job, guys.